Morning, guys. Just want to talk about something a little bit different. I noticed in one of the comments somebody was maybe coming out of a bad relationship and contemplating the way forward or to give up completely. The way you've got to look at this is either it's an opportunity or just give up. I don't see the point of giving up. In the worst circumstances, you're better off going elsewhere and starting again. You know, at the end of the day, this is why a lot of guys go out to the Philippines, for example. They've come out of relationships that's pretty much always not in their favor. You know, losing access to kids, financially robbed blind, etc. Going out to the Philippines, you can have a new start, a new beginning. And I know a lot of people out there will say, well, if you haven't got money, I'm going to... You know what? I can take you to a story of a friend of mine. He used to live near me in the UK years ago. He'd moved over from Ireland because he used to work for Codemasters, software company. He was a graphics designer. And he used to have a good job. I mean, a very good job. But his wife over in Ireland, his ex-wife, from what he told me, she used to beat him and stuff like that. They had 3 kids and, you know, in the end he just left. And she ended up with the house and the majority of his income. So he thought, what's the point? What's the point of having a good income to give it away for her to have a boyfriend living in his house that he paid for with his children that he struggles to get access to? So he basically left Ireland and moved to the UK and got a far more simple and less complex job. He eventually became a turf accountant. If you don't know what turf accountant is, it's somebody who works at the, well, you get them at the racetrack, you get them, basically works out the bets for gambling. Wages of about $24,000 a year, which was less than a third of what he was earning before. But you know what? He was happy. He got a little 1-bedroom flat. He was content. He had money in his pocket again. A stress-free job. The job was only like the next street. He was quite content. Now, the CSA, Child Support Agency, sent him a demand letter. Yeah, he got a demand letter, which basically wanted the backdate pay for child support based on his previous income. The following week, he got his pay slip, and it was £414, or it was just over the £400 mark. His rent was £400 because the CSA had basically taken all of his income. They hadn't left him enough money for food, electric, water bills, anything, just the rent. And he was completely gutted. He lost everything. You know, the woman got the house, got the kids. She'd done pretty well out of him already, and she had no intention of going to get a job. No, why would she? Was she going to leech off him for the rest of his life? Bearing in mind, she used to assault him and attack him, and at the same time, she refused him access to the children, and just was a complete and utter nightmare. She was still digging her claws deep inside him to get everything she could out of him. There is very little protection for guys, for these types of women. But the next thing is, his sister had seen how low he was, because he couldn't get any lower. He'd moved country, he'd restarted again, but the CSA digging into him, not even reevaluating on his new income. It takes months to go through the courts, and they still want it at the last rate, even though you haven't earned it, and there's been a period where you've had zero work at all. They still want the big money out of him, and I think it was over £12,000 or something that they wanted, like today. So she took him on a budget holiday to Spain. I'm not sure where in Spain, because I'd met him just before he went, and then I seen him the day he come back. Now bear in mind, when he left, there was nothing left of him. He was a completely different person. He was normally upbeat, very chatty and everything else. He was drawn. He was depressed. But while he was in Spain, this is when I seen him when he come back, he completely changed. He was back to himself. He'd met a German guy on the beach who was opening a sports bar where there would be bets in the bar and all this sort of stuff. And they got chatting, and he offered him a job. He come back to the UK, applied for the job because it was an actual proper business. It wasn't just somebody saying, oh, you know, I've decided to open a bar. It was a case of this German guy already had businesses, so he had to apply for the job as well. So he applied for it, and within 2 weeks he got a response that the job was there, going to start X, and he needed to be in Spain. This was in less than a 4-week period that he'd gone to Spain, come back, found a new job, got a new life, and out of the claws of the CSA and ex-wife. He got in his little, it was an old Peugeot, I think it was a 206 or something, a very old one. And he just filled it with all his items, because he hardly had anything either, because everything was with the ex. He lost everything. But he got in his car, and I didn't see him for at least 6 months. And then I was just walking down the street the one day, and he was just walking up the other way. And I just thought, oh, what you doing back? And I asked him. He says, you know what? I've been out there now 6 months or whatever it was. And when I arrived, unloaded the car outside the new flat, come down, the car had been taken by the police because it was parked illegally. Wasn't bothered. But he says, you know what? I pay my rent. I walk down at the beach. I work on the bar at the beach, you know, doing the betting, whatever he's doing there. And he says, I've got bills. I've got enough money for my food. Got enough money for my accommodation. Got money I'm actually saving. And life couldn't be better. It says it's out of the reach of the ex. And at the same time, I've been able to restart my life. He said, but one of the things I do recognise, he says, I got here. I got to Birmingham Airport. And the doors open, it's raining. Everybody he speaks to is miserable. He says, I come back for 2 weeks to see these people that are my friends and everything else, and everyone just seems down, depressed, and unhappy. Now I know I won't be coming back again. And that was the last time I seen him. The point being is there is always opportunity out there. There is always a new start. There's always a fresh start. And you may get kicked down and kicked down and kicked down, but you need to get yourself back up and just go out there and start again. Those people that cause all this headaches to you, whatever you can do, get rid of them. They're never going to be a upside to you. They're always going to be clawing at you if they get the opportunity. Get rid of them. And if it costs you money, I'll tell you what, your well-being and health is far more important than any money they'll ever give you. Because let's face it, they probably ain't giving you nothing anyway. Just get yourself on the right track. Get rid of the negative people. Find something that can motivate you and get you back in the right direction. But one thing I will say is don't give up. You can always move forward. Thanks for watching.